the cake, blow the candles out, feeling like LeBron James.
Today we are talking about thought decay and detoxing from the American poison, giving us brain decay. We call it thought decay. So the damage is already done, what the government has done to our brains, right? We were miseducated not only in school, but even in the soul. Even in the soul. They taught us how to perform, but not how to truly live. They taught us how to obey, but not how to truly be or come more. This thought decay that the Niji, our ancestors, have went through, it didn't happen overnight. These seeds of decay were planted, watered, and praised, might I add. Praised. So we inherited confusion dressed as culture. We call oppression opportunity. We call manipulation media. They sold us a dream and then stole our reality. And now, my Niji, our people fight invisible war in the mind every single day. Paycheck to paycheck, bill to bill, stress to stress. But guess what? Like I said, the decay has already been done. The damage has already been done. A lot of our people, my Niji, don't know who they are because history lied. Everything has been set up for us to fail. Once I realized this last year, I've been on a mission to take more minds from hood to hood. That's why I now go by Dr. Chieftess Sunflower, because I realize there's a lot of fuckery going on when it comes to controlling our mind. And you gotta know this. But Niji, we have to remember that the root is still alive under all of this rubble. The ancestors whisper through our DNA. They speak to us through our DNA. So yes, the damage has been done, but the DNA is still that tick and clock. It reminds us that our mind can heal from the thought decay, that our spirit can rewire, and thought, the real thoughts, that's the first evolution, when we can really think about the world and not be caught up in the matrix. Now, if you melanated copper tone Niji and you don't know you melanated copper tone Niji, as I say every broadcast, you gotta go do your ancestry. I've done my ancestry, I've done my genealogy, and that experience was enlightening because people kept saying, oh, you didn't come from Africa. We were already here. And for me, the sound of that sounded so confusing. It's like, what? But I've been told that I was from Africa. And to know that to go do my own genealogy and to see that my ancestors were inhabitants, and I never knew about it because I thought I was from a whole nother continent. Never had the desire to do my ancestry right here on Turtle Island with the National Archives until I realized who I was. Now I know my great-great-grandparents, great-great-great-great uncles and aunties. I've even connected with so many family members this year living right here on this piece of soil after I realized, damn, they lied to me. Because I was going to go on in this colonized mindset, thinking I'm from Africa, thinking, oh, some kind of way I'm going to connect to Africa. And that wasn't the freaking case. And it's so sad. The history has been manipulated. And it's still being manipulated. You got to know, if they are allowing you to read the history about their colonizers, that it can't have any truth to it. A society built on oppressing other people is bound to decay. And when you think in that society, you think and you contribute to that society, you are contributing to your own demise. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because when you have a bunch of people breeding negativity, breeding hate, white supremacy, just oppression, genocide, homicide, democide, all kinds of sides, and they think like that, thinking that level of inbreeding of ideas does not grow. See, when my people were unoppressed, we did astrology, we created technology, GPS and things like that. When we're, even during our oppression times, we're still creating. But when you have the creation of hate, that really ain't a creation at all. It's actually poisoning anybody who comes in contact with you. And that is what has happened with the ideology of white supremacy or colonization or paganism. All right? Feel free to come in, drop your questions in the chat. We just getting started talking about thought decay, how it is not really totally irreversible, but you have to be really intentional about what you put into your mind. Civilization has become a cult of repetition. The same ideas, breeding with themselves, deforming into arrogance and delusion. So that's why you have people who study pseudo-history, such as so-called Native Americans, who are in our spot, the $5 Indians, pilgrims, settlers. They deform their mind from this hate, from this evil, and then they develop arrogance and delusion. That's all that it breeds. Now you walk around arrogant with these pseudo-ass ideas, with these hateful-ass ideas, you breed it into your children, the grandchildren, and it just get worse and worse and worse till your brain can't even think positive because you're focused on hating all the fucking time. You focus on oppressing other people all the damn time. It's called intellectual inbreeding. When you got us sitting here thinking that we're something that we're not, you're causing us to have generations of intellectual inbreeding because we're not moving off our own soul. We're not moving off our own thoughts. We're not moving even off of positivity. We're moving off of fear of people who told you that if you don't say, hey, I'm better than you, I'm going to take you out of here. So they got into the thought process of, oh, we feel arrogant and conceited and delusional now because they're listening. But baby, let me tell you, that DNA never went to sleep. That DNA that lived in us, it woke up. One day it woke up. Or maybe it was just laying dormant. The ancestors say, oh, hell no. We got to wake our kids up. We got to wake our grandchildren up. Because guess what, guys? You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. You are. You just got to believe it. So stop strolling through these recycled thoughts. We quote colonizers like they're prophets. We quote the presidents who enslaved people like they heroes when they actually the reason for the season. We call theft progress, stealing our land, stealing our people, getting free labor for hundreds of years, confusing our mind, telling us not to read, not to write, not to even have freedom or life. You just want to oppress. And you think that shit gonna go somewhere? It goes nowhere. It's called emotional starvation. So right now they have us emotional starved out, leading to mental health problems because we can't figure out why the hell something feel off. What's going on? You ain't crazy. You just been recycling the thoughts of people who delusional and got you tricked out of your spot. For heaven's sake, they got the whole world thinking melanin is bad. I will be damned. They got little kids going to school with their head down because they got this pigment on that skin that block the sun and dissociate the ultraviolet rays. The shit's so powerful that it prevents your skin from getting cancer. But they got the whole world with this dumbass, delusional ass thinking, oh, that's a melanated person. Let me disrespect them because I don't have it. Let's tell the truth. Shame the colonizers. Our ancestors built irrigation systems before they had plows. Our ancestors cultivated this land and invested in agriculture before y'all pulled up on the boats. We navigated the stars before maps. We healed our community with plants before pharmacies. But now look, we die from the inside out, eating all this colonized food, eating all of this toxic hormone, steroid-filled food, damaging our body, feeling down, sick, tired, depressed, overwhelmed, burned out, ready to let it go. All because we got these dumbass, decaying ass ideas holding us down. And you got people who don't want to let it go. They don't even realize you're going to kill yourself because you poisoning everybody's mind. Things like this, thoughts like this do not grow. They don't grow. They just get in the way of any progress we can make as a people. It really does. It really gets in the way. So I want to know, what is one thing you unlearned this year that changed how you see the world? What is that one thing? For me, what I learned this year and last year that changed how I see the world is that history lied about everything. I learned that the Pope and the church were responsible, and they made the, what do we call it? We want to get it right. They made the decree demand for these settlers and different delusional ass people to go around the world, claim all the land for people who didn't want to convert to Christianity. Which is why so many of my people are Christians, because we were forced to do it by the gun. And if you didn't do it, you would be gone. So now we do it without even a force. We done took over it. But before, it was the Pope, the church. They used to have us in their churches over here because they brought that over here. They used to have people kidnapped under the church while they was sitting here thanking God for the blessing. You got to know who you listening to. You really got to tap into your spirit. Tap into the ancestors. They won't lead you wrong. That's why I say half of the time, doing the genealogy, it's going to set your mind right. It's going to get you right. It's going to let you know something ain't right. When you start discovering your ancestors here before Trump, people even got here, some kind of way, the president, make it make sense, guys. How does this work? How do colonizers have this mindset to do such hateful things and think that this is going to be forever? All empires built on pseudo-history, built on a decaying foundation, eventually rot the hell out. As you can see right now, falling apart in front of our face. They want to say, oh, we're going to cut off stamps. Then they say, oh, no, we're going to do it. It's all to harvest your energy. It's all to make you wake up every day, stress the hell out before the day even start. It's all to get you to say, I gotta go to labor. I gotta go to work. I can't never get out of the mindset of work. I don't never have no time for my dreams. I never have time to invest in myself. I'm burnt the hell out. Stressing out this, stressing out that. Listen, don't fall for the propaganda, my Niji. That's why I'm here to tell you. Whatever is meant for you, you won't have to do too much to get. Which is why colonizers have to change who we are in history. Because guess what happens when they don't? This is your land. You don't have to labor. You're sovereign. You don't have to work. Now you don't have to pay taxes. There's a lot of shit that happens when we get back into our true identity. It's a lot of things go back in place for you. So why not trick you out of your spot? Why not put you in the church and make you think that something's going to happen when you giving money to the church with colonizers' faces on it, such as George Washington and Andrew Jackson, who were the son of the devil? They were going to church, going and praying, and then going around taking people's land. But you think that passing Andrew Jackson face in the church gonna bless you? Come on, man. Money haven't even been around that long. This money. Back in the day, we had gold and real assets, land, and then they tricked us out of our spot. So that's one thing that I learned this year that changed how I see the whole world. When I learned that the Pope in the 1300s made something called the papal bulls, and they made other different things where they could seize, they could harm, unalive, do whatever they want. If you were not the son of a Christian prince, your land was theirs. That's why the whole Africa is colonized. People in Africa like to say, oh, you're from, but y'all are colonized as well. The only country in Africa that isn't colonized is Ethiopia. Just like in America, everything's colonized. The whole world is colonized. God damn. The heat just trying to, the hate, the eugenics just trying to take over the whole world. You think that's going to be good for the world? Having hate in control? But some kind of way in America, hate is in control. It's in control on every level. I saw an image yesterday from 2025. Let me just see if I can pull this image up. That a lot of these aren't even American citizens. They're not even from here. And we, on our land, are going to work, stressing the hell out, paying taxes to take care of immigrants who don't have to work. And a lot of them don't, the wives don't work because of religion. It's crazy. So let's pull this up. Melanated people right here, 24.9% of us. But above us is Cuban, Puerto Rican, Caribbean, Dominican, Iraqi, Afghanistan, and then even down here, all of these people. Yep. That's crazy, right? So you'll have people on the internet trying to do propaganda again, saying, oh, the black people. Meanwhile, all these other people don't have to face no heat, even though they're getting way more than us. I don't see just us on here, but some kind of way they like to make the melanated autochthonous inhabitants always the topic of discussion. Always. That's why you gotta know who the hell you are. This is why you gotta know who you are. Otherwise, you'll be sitting here letting people think you less than something when they actually need more assistance than you do. They need it more than you do. Afghan, Somali, and Iraqi. So at the top of the list is the Afghan, the Somali, and the Iraqi for people getting stamps. 50% almost of Iraqi, Afghan, and Somali immigrants are getting food stamps. It is crazy. It's time to cleanse the mental plaque, family. The buildup of people's lies in our brain. It's time to cleanse and detox from that. It's time to brush your mind kind of like you brush your teeth. Twice a day if possible. Because the same way decay kills teeth, misinformation can kill your truth. Misinformation can make you feel mentally drained. So if you're feeling mentally drained in this society right now, it is not by accident. So in America, burnout is no accident. It is a business model that they live by. Laboring little of nothing for minimum wage, which is really just them continuing slavery but calling it a minimum wage. It is a business model. You are tired because they trained you to chase approval. You are broke because they designed our worth around paper cotton. Some of us are lonely because the system profits off of the disconnection that you have with the tribe. I don't think y'all heard me, my Niji. They make you feel like you're failing because you were not created to survive in captivity. They try to capture your mind, capture your time, capture everything, and it's just not going to work. This is the season where you step out and you take control of your mind. You take control of your thoughts and you stop the decay. Stop the detox. Stop the toxicity. Do a detox. All right? Some days I get in and I can't even think for the weight of overhead from a dental practice, the bills, the pressure, the injustices. It just had you in like a brain fog. I'm so fucking sick of it. But then I remember, survival is not compliance. We can survive without surrendering every piece of us until we old and gray. I learned also yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday, that the age for you to get food stamps and to go to work went from 6 to 65. That's crazy. They really want you to work till you 65, 70, and then you good to retire. And then maybe they're going to have some money left. Maybe. It's crazy. But when you see all those immigrants, all those people just sitting on food stamps who don't look like us, then you know that something is not right. So we got to get back to who we are. We have to get back to the mindset that is the creator. The mindset that's the entrepreneur. The higher education and learning without the pseudo history that's involved. But on those days when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm just reminded of how far I came, how far my ancestors had to go to get here, and the quality of my DNA. That's all you need. Once you know the quality of your DNA, nothing is impossible for you. But if you think that your DNA ain't worth nothing, then everything is impossible for you because you have been captivated. Not in a good way. You've been in captivity. And without chains. When I say captivity, they got captivity with chains and captivity without chains. Both of them apply to people who labor, pay taxes. We all involved. None of us is excluded unless you are sovereign. And that's the goal for me. So what does peace look like? For me, peace is not money. It can help with things, but for me, peace is having control over my own damn thoughts, sovereignty, truthfulness. That will be peace for me. A government that tells the truth and doesn't try to harm its people. How long do we have to go to get there? Judging from what you guys see on TikTok, judging from what you see going on around the world, do you think that we close or very far apart? Let me know what y'all feel in the comments. Do y'all feel like we close to having peace? Or are we so far away from it? right? But the empire is eating itself. The parasite has killed this host. That's what's going on in America right now. And we just watching it decline. All empires fall, especially if they're not built on positivity. And we know America is just not built on that. It's built on everything on the opposite. And it bothers me because these criminals, these thefts, these people who committed genocide, homicide, all of these different atrocities to us now turn around and say, oh, the thugs. Oh, how do you forget the system that is full of savages and pirates that controls America? This is why it's propaganda. But the empire has turned on itself. The illusion is collapsing in real time. It's falling in real time. That's why the money ain't real anymore. They took the money off of the gold standard in the 70s. So before the 70s, money was backed by gold. Now it's backed by nothing. This is called a fiat currency, meaning it's a fake ass currency. It ain't even worth nothing. It's all belief. If we stop believing in it, then it falls. But as long as we believe in it, we believe in voting, we believe in all. Voting has been around since that time. And now we participate in a system that started with them voting to keep us prison or not. What? How did that system clean itself? It just changed over time now? I don't know. I can't see it happening. So inflation, sickness, corruption, police brutality, these are tremors that you see before the empire crumbles into pieces. The cult of America has fed the world spirit. Now it is choking us. This isn't a democracy. This is a disaster. This isn't civilization. This is a sickness of the mind, guys. Don't mistake this collapse of this whack-ass government for chaos. It's cleansing. Don't fight it. It needs to be cleaned out. It needs to crumble. Every system built on lies must crumble. And we're not going to be the ones here to fight it. Why y'all want that to know King's protest? Child, please. We done with that. We talking with dollars now. We talking with knowledge now. We talking with truth now. We not falling for all this propaganda no more. My Niji, every structure built on souls, and it's so sad to say it like this, but their whole empire was built on oppressing our soul. Do y'all know how deep that go? It was built on oppressing us, telling us you will never amount to nothing as long as my foot on your neck. I could take you out of here right now like George Floyd, put my foot on your neck, and ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Y'all seen the movie The Perfect Neighbor? You see how she lied? She had so much hate inbreeding in her mind, just decaying her mind to the point where she couldn't even survive with being around melanated people because it was, oh my gosh. She was walking around calling the little kids slaves, and she felt like that would kill their spirit and break their spirit. But these little kids didn't know that they weren't no slaves. This lady's on my land. She using the things my ancestors invented and trying to degrade me. That's the society that is going to collapse. It's going to collapse. It really is. So when the smoke clears, my Niji, guess what? We will rise. The roots run too deep within us. Our heart is pure. Our minds are getting freer because we never died. We just buried ourselves under all of this propaganda, as we continue to do every day, which is why I come on here for the Hood's Hooded podcast to remind colonizers what you're doing doesn't work, and to remind the Niji that we will rise. It's already in our DNA to keep rising. I am not a citizen of collapse. I am the seed of renewal. So you are not a product of what's going on. You are going to be the birth of the new nation when we wake up. So now we know what's going on. We know that the empire is decaying. We have to reprogram the psyche at this point. The colonizer planted malware in our mind. They planted viruses in our mind. Viruses that initiate programs for you to doubt yourself, for you to have fear about every level, for every moment, every day you just live in fear and stress, for there to be competition in the tribe. They plant viruses for vanity, so you fall in love with just the vainness and not the inside of you. That's what colonization and white supremacy does. It makes you think that the outside looks clean, but in the inside is full of hate, full of competition, full of aggression, full of lies. But our mind has to be cleansed today, family. The soul can reboot. Even though the Pope said he wanted to go around the world and take everybody's soul and he controlled the souls, listen, they never took your soul. Your soul can reboot. Reboot your soul today.